Hi guys, it's John and this is my reaction, kind of a mini review of Avengers Infinity War. If you haven't seen the movie and you don't want me to spoil it for you, please stop watching the video now, because there are going to be a little bit of spoilers in this reaction of mine. Not a lot, but I just fair warning, if you don't want me to ruin the movie for you, please watch my other video. Go comment, comment, and subscribe to my other video. So, we saw the movie Thursday night here in the US. That was the day before the official opening of the movie, which was this Friday, or yesterday. Today's Saturday, my time. What was good about going to the movie before it actually came out is that this weekend, and I think a lot of the movie theaters that are showing Avengers are getting this movie bill. It's like a play bill. If you're familiar with Broadway shows or plays, for example, you get a play bill. This time they provide a movie bill. This is a limited edition. It's numbered, and it's also tagged with the name of the movie theater where you watch the movie at. So yeah, this is kind of, hopefully it turns into a collector's edition. And I'm also hoping that they provide another movie bill when the next movie comes out next year. So what this is just information. It was geared towards people who are not as familiar with the MCU or the Marvel comic universe, specifically the Avengers story and a lot of the characters who are involved in and with the Avengers. So they provide this, and it gives you a lot more insight than just trying to understand the movie when you go in. So this gives you a little bit more insight into Thanos, who's the main antagonist. It gives you an insight into the characters themselves, the main Avengers characters who are in the movie. So you can basically figure out who's not going to be in the movie based on this book alone. So, you thumb through it, it'll give you information on, first of all, and this is not unknown to a lot of you folks who are Avengers fans who have watched the movie since the beginning. Not just the Avengers, but starting with Iron Man. A lot of the backstory they try to put in this book. So, like for example, what is this glove, which is the Infinity Gauntlet that Thanos wears, and why does it hold these stones, these special stones, which are basically his objective. His objective in the movie is to capture all the stones. Just as the picture depicts, he is successful in collecting all the stones. So another giveaway. I'm sorry if you still haven't watched the movie. This book was very helpful for me as well, because I wasn't really a comic book fan of the. I wouldn't say I'm not a fan, but I'm not an avid comic book reader. So this particular guide, it gives a good description of the stones and what they are and where they are. And as you watch the movie, you're gonna find out where these stones are and where Thanos goes, or where he sends his his minions or his legion. I believe in the comic book they are known as the Black Order, and what he does is he tasks them in trying to find the stone. There are two stones, I believe, on Earth, and from previous movies we know that one stone is on Vision's head, right in the middle of his forehead, and there's also a stone that's being guarded by Doctor Strange that resides in his necklace. So those are the objectives. Get the stone so Thanos can basically have ultimate power, and basically will anything, do anything. That's his objective. The beginning of the movie is pretty dire. If you watched Thor Ragnarok, you can have a sense of what was coming. At the end of the Thor Ragnarok movie, and I believe it was after the ending credits, and Marvel is very famous for doing this. They put an ending scene towards the end, the very end, after the credits have rolled, and during the ending of the credits in the Thor Ragnarok movie, you can see their ship. When they escaped Asgard, there was a ship that was hovering over them. That's basically it's Thanos' ship, and from then it continues on into this new movie. And it's all I'm gonna say is that it's when the movie starts, it's a pretty dire scene with Thor, with Loki, who's in there, and especially Asgard's gatekeeper, Heimdall. And you're gonna see what happens when he what he does for one of the characters. And one of those characters is who's actually in the ship itself is the Hulk. So when you watch the movie, you're gonna see what happens, and you're gonna understand how the Hulk ends up back on Earth. So if you remember in the movie Avengers Age of Ultron, there was a scene in towards the end, and Hulk leaves, and then he ends up on on that planet where he becomes a gladiator. So he's been gone all this time from Earth. So this is the time when he finally comes back. He gets reunited with a few of the other characters, namely Nat, or the Black Widow, who's sort of happy to see him. So basically a reunion happens in the Avengers, at the Avengers headquarters. So Captain America comes back. Basically the group that kind of went away, not agreeing with the Accord. So that group is back together with Vision and the Scarlet Witch. So yeah, mini reunion, not on happy terms, since they encountered the children of Thanos, and they know that something's coming, that a fight is coming, maybe an invasion is coming. So they're trying to figure out what they need. I really don't want to give too much away, but just some thoughts, or more thoughts on how the characters basically end up in different places. Thor ends up with the Guardians of the Galaxy because he's basically floating around in space. You can watch the movie to find out why. But basically he gets rescued, and the backstory, I guess, there's a backstory with one of the characters in Guardians, Gamora, because she is connected to Thanos, and they kind of devise a way to try and stop Thanos. As you will find out in the movie, everybody has their own objective on how to accomplish beating their adversary. So, and they all, being familiar with the past movies, they all don't see eye to eye. A lot of them argue. I mean, that's why they basically split up in Civil War. So the way everything got pulled back together to accomplish a single goal is what basically makes this movie. And as a viewer, somebody who's watching the movie, you're kind of pulled into not just the physical, but also the emotional aspect of what the characters are going through. So you as a viewer will feel helpless, you will feel depressed. A lot of portions are funny, but the main tone is everybody is in. It's not a good feeling. It's a feeling, again, of helplessness. You trying to, if you're thinking, if I can help out in any way, I'm gonna do it. I'm just gonna jump into the screen and try to help out, because that's what makes the movie so great. So a big part of this movie's theme is death. And from Thanos' perspective, basically half the universe has to die in order for it to be reborn. That's basically his goal. Is what he does is he goes from world to world, basically conquers, kills off half of the population of any world that he decides needs cleansing, and and then he moves on. And that's kind of the ongoing theme of the movie is Thanos is here, everybody's gonna die. And it's no different if you look at it from the Avengers perspective. So it's just a fair warning, you're gonna see some characters. I would say there's one character or a couple of characters, yes, that will die. But a lot, at least half of them are gonna go away in some fashion. I'm just gonna leave it at that. But yeah, remember in the beginning I mentioned that Thanos is successful in collecting all the stones. So now he's all powerful, he's almighty. He can basically do as he wishes with a, with a flick of a finger. With just by snapping his finger, he can will anything. He can change reality. He has the time stone. He can manipulate time. So yeah, he can just create as much chaos as he pleases, and he does. All right, I hope I didn't give too much away. I know there are some details in there that only a person who's watched the movie knows about. I mean, there are resources on the internet. I think there's a lot of podcasts going on that are basically blowing the movie apart, giving out all the details. And I really don't want to, I still want you guys to go in there and enjoy it. Again, should you go watch this movie, 100% go and watch the movie. I'm already thinking of watching it again. That's how good it is. I'm the type of person who watches movies over and over again because I know I missed parts here and there. So yes, go. So my last thoughts. Yes, there's going to be a part 2. Just because of I think it's a long story. They didn't want to squeeze it into this one movie. And I think it was impossible to do that anyways. There is a new character that's coming. There was a character that I was looking for in this movie that did not show up. I believe that person is going to show up in the next movie, but there's going to be another superhero that's going to be making an appearance in the next movie. There's actually a twist towards the end of the movie, and remember I told you that some characters kind of disappear into oblivion, that sort of thing. First of all, I really don't think they're dead. Again, there is a time stone, so someone that knows how to manipulate time can basically reverse everything. So I think I've divulged enough. You can kind of, you've heard some details about the movie, some spoilers, and I apologize if you haven't watched the movie yet. But before I end, I want to basically throw out what my thoughts are on the upcoming sequel, if you will, the ending of this Avengers saga. Obviously, they're going to have to beat Thanos and basically restore order in the universe, because now it's a universal quest for them to basically bring everything back into order, basically fix everything and undo what Thanos has done. So that's their objective in the next movie, because he is such a strong character. This new character will probably play a major role. This new superhero that's going to be coming in the next movie. This new character, I'm gonna say it's a superhero, and a lot of you guys who know how these story go, and there were some rumors floating around on the internet before. You probably know who it is, but yes, it is going to be another superhero that's coming to help out. And if you watch the movie, you will understand why they need help. So yeah, guys, go see the movie, enjoy it. If you like this video, and if you want to keep this conversation going, the movie's gonna be out for a while. You know, comment down below, and you know, we'll try to do a discussion. I would love to hear your thoughts on the movie. I would love to hear, especially how emotional you got, if you did get emotional, because I did, and you know, I would love to hear that from you. So, you know, your thoughts, please, you know, write them down. If you have questions, you know, just put them down in the comments, and I will try to read as many of it as I can. And you know, again, I hope you guys enjoyed the movie, and I'll see you guys on my next video.